Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I just had a little ruckus. I might have broken a couple tweezers, but that's okay. We're alive and we're well. So today is a really exciting video. I want to share my story about manufacturing products, as well as tips I have for you, some do's and don'ts that I went through that I would just like to steer you in the right direction to just help you decide whether this is the route you want to go. If you want to eventually manufacture products, then this is the video for you. So if you guys like videos like this, I have a ton of more information and stuff I would like to share with you. So make sure that you subscribe and like this video, as well as comment if you have any questions, because I'm going to be uploading a bunch of different videos about this process. Okay, so let's get right into it. So I just want to share with you guys a little bit about my personal story. So a year into my Lash journey, I started to look into manufacturing products, how it's done, the materials that they use, looking into different manufacturers. And I did that for a couple of months just to see if it's something that I was prepared to do. And this was really early on into my career, but I have always just been so enamored with lash products, like the tweezers that we use, the adhesive and how it's formulated, and the ingredients that are used, just everything about the products we use. I was always just like, we could never do our job without these products. I want to make my own. So after months of researching, I started to order samples, and that's a whole other story. So if you guys want to hear more about that process, I will totally make another video for you guys. But today I just want to give you guys a bunch of tips to look out for when you are going into manufacturing. So the first tip is brand awareness. You cannot be launching a product into an industry unless your brand is well known. You need to have enough people who want to buy this product and have enough hype build up around your product in order for you to sell and do well on your first launch. So building brand awareness, I've been doing that for about a year and a half to 2 years now, I'd say, is when I really went full force with my branding. And it takes a couple years to build up that brand awareness. With building brand awareness, you want to start now, whether that's just, creating bonds within your industry or showing up on your Instagram stories daily. People need to know who you are, they need to like you, they need to trust you, and they need to eventually want to buy from you in order to put a product out into the world. And that's exactly what I did. The next tip is that manufacturers will not even look at you if you are not ordering a high enough volume. So if you are not projecting that you have enough sales once you launch the product, it probably means that you don't have enough brand awareness. So make sure that you have your brand awareness super strong before you go and launch a product into the world. So the next tip is be prepared for a big investment. So you're not just investing a couple $1,000s into the products and the manufacturing process, but you now need to invest thousands of dollars into packaging, hiring on a web designer, hiring on a graphic designer. But yeah, so you're not just investing into the products, you also need to think about toxicologists, sourcing out a toxicologist. So if you're manufacturing adhesives, whether you are formulating it yourself or just slapping on your logo, you will still need to get a toxicologist involved to ensure that these ingredients are pure. And so on a budget, if you are only coming out with one product and your minimum order of that product is say 1,000 pieces, and you could probably do this under $10,000. However, for me, if I could look back and go back in time, I wish I would have done everything properly instead of in stages. So my first launch, I had the most beautiful tweezers. However, I didn't have packaging because I didn't have my full branding, because I didn't have the money to invest into that yet. So now I do, so I've finally invested into branded packaging and all that, but I should have had that done from the get-go. So as you can see, I've kind of done things backwards, so that's why I'm here to help you not make the same mistakes that I did. The next tip is do your homework. You want to know and understand the materials that your manufacturer is using. You want to understand high grade quality and low grade quality. And this all simply just starts with a Google search. So you want to make sure that you are just well-rounded before you go out and search for a manufacturer. You want to be educated on the product that you're trying to come out with. Look into competition's products, the prices, and especially the material that is supposed to be used in the highest grade quality material. So say you have your manufacturer and you're ready to send them your design, the next tip is just be incredibly precise. You cannot leave any details out when it comes to manufacturing process, because say you're creating a tweezer and the logo that you have on it is supposed to be in white, but you don't tell them that it's in white, they can put it in silver. And you know, there's little things like that. You just need to have a full design file sent to them and ready to go so they can follow those steps to a T and nothing's missed. That's probably one of my biggest pieces of advice, is just to not leave anything up to the manufacturer. You need to be 100% clear of what you want out of your product. The next tip is ask a ton of questions. There is no stupid question when it comes to the manufacturing process. It doesn't matter what type of question it is, your questions need to be answered when it comes to investing this amount of money into a product line. The next tip is build a relationship with your manufacturer. We need to remember that they are people too. Even if they are halfway across the world, you need to understand that they are people and it's not just all about business. So my goal is to eventually go and visit and travel to my manufacturers and see the entire plant and meet them in person. So think of it that way, that, you know, these are people that you might have a lifelong relationship with. So that goes into the next tip. So it's thinking long-term with your manufacturer, not short-term. So if you say you're ordering lashes from Korea and you think they're great, they're pretty good, but you want to find better, but right now they're good. You've tested 1,000 lashes from different manufacturers and this one's okay. In a sense, you know that you're not going to stick with them long term. So don't just fall into ordering from them because you want to put a product out that badly. Find what's perfect. Find what represents you and your branding 100%. That's why you want to think long term with your manufacturer, that you know you're going to want to stick with them. There's nothing else better out there. The next tip is don't overpromise and be humble about the process. It's so great to share the process about manufacturing. Like, that was one of my favorite things to do. But you don't want to overshare. So say you're ordering 1,000 pieces of something. That's not something necessarily that you're going to go out and tell the world. Like, so again, it's great to share your journey on social media, but you don't want to overpromise something and then say it sells out and you do really great in this launch. However, now you're letting people down. And on top of this tip, I would just say to always start small. It's better to just order less and have a really successful launch. That way you can project for your next restock how many pieces you really need to order and how much you need to up the next order. Okay, so the next tip is asking for your manufacturer's business license. So say you're ordering lashes from Korea, you're going to ask them for their business license. And so the business license will tell you what type of business it's registered as. And on the business license, you need to look for something that says business scope. Okay, so those are all of my little tips. I have more from where that came from. If you guys want more videos, just let me know below. Now I want to talk about things that I did that I would suggest you do differently. In a sense, learn from my mistakes. Okay, so I have one major tip, and that is if you were starting small like me, you're not investing like $100,000 all at once into a product line, you're kind of starting slow, come out with one product at a time. That one product you create, baby it and nurture it because it is your first product. Make sure you get it known worldwide before you start introducing new products. My issue was that certain customers wanted different products, so I was coming out with them too quickly, but not enough people really wanted them. And that's not to say that my launches haven't done well, because I am so incredibly grateful for my customers. Like, I would have never thought in a million years that I would be here right now creating these products and packaging the amount of orders that come in. It's actually crazy. But when you are manufacturing products, you want it to do well. However, when you're investing so much money into products, you want each product to do equally well to each other. So my advice would just be to market that one product so well before you go and invest into another product and launch it out into the world. Each product you come out with needs to be nurtured the exact same way. So sell it until it does very, very well, and then start thinking about launching a new product. Make sure that packaging is 100% on point and that your marketing tactics are figured out as well. Okay, you guys, that is it for this video. I hope you guys loved it. I had so much fun filming. I have a ton more of stories and personal struggles and things I would love to share with you guys. So if this is something that interests you, I would love for you to join my little YouTube family, and I'll see you in the next video. Mwah.